Hi, so a lot of people have been asking about Starlite, so I thought I'd do this, which I'm calling Starlite Paper. And in the great Starlite tradition, let's do a close-up of it, my hand, and a blowtorch. Kind of hard to hold this actually, but there's my hand, there's my Starlite Paper, and here's my blowtorch. I have to admit, I was nervous about doing that. Okay, so what is it and why does it work? Well, actually all it is this stuff painted on ordinary paper. There's 10 sheets of just normal copier paper. This stuff obviously is the Starlite secret. And what's in here is water, borax, sodium silicate, sugar, sodium bicarbonate, and styrene butadiene rubber. Now the styrene butadiene rubber holds the whole thing together and makes it so that you can actually glue the bits of paper. Everything else does something else. Now it works because the top layer burns. As you saw, the paper actually burns. But as it burns, it gives off carbon dioxide, and the sugar in there crystallizes and forms little pockets of carbon. Now the carbon starts to burn off at 400 degrees centigrade, but because it's kind of little bubbles, it's amazingly insulating. Now we've done stuff making carbon foams where we've shown a foam on a gas ring with an ice cube on the top, and the gas ring is blazing away and the ice cube doesn't melt. It's a property of what's called non-reticulated foams. Reticulated foams are foams with little passages between them so that the whole foam can actually communicate with one cell with another. Non-reticulated foams are those where they're enclosed little spheres. A good example would be polystyrene. Packing polystyrene is non-reticulated. A good example of a reticulated foam is your bath sponge. A property of non-reticulated carbon foams is amazing. Heat protection. Anything that will do that will actually give you heat protection. So Starlite is exactly the same thing, only it's mixed with flour. Well, actually Nighthawk Light's version is mixed with flour. Starlite itself is probably something else, but it doesn't really matter. These materials are called intumescent materials, and they're materials that have that property. When they're heated, you get a foam. The foam is non-reticulated, it needs something to hold it in place, and you will be protected from your blowtorch. So the paper works as well as anything else. In fact, lots of things would work really quite well. The paper itself and the sugar that's in there is sacrificial. You need something to create a foam, and that's the job of the sodium bicarbonate. The sodium silicate actually forms a glass, and because it's glassing in that environment, it forms the microspheres of glass. They're not as insulating as the carbon, but they help bulk out the carbon and form that expanding area that you probably saw when I was doing it. So Starlite, to be honest, is not particularly mysterious, and there are some really awesome products out there, particularly in intumescent paint actually. I mean, I use 10 layers of paper. The intumescent paint is in fact 1 or 2 coats, and it does just an amazing job. Anyway, I thought I would reproduce Starlite. Oh, the recipe. It's a, let me see, 350 millilitres of water, 100 grams of sugar, 100 grams of sodium silicate, 20 grams, I think, 20 grams of borax and 30 grams of sodium bicarbonate, and then that was made up to 450 millilitres with styrene butadiene rubber. So that's the basic recipe. Then if you paint that on something like paper, then it will form a Starlite kind of material. Obviously you could paint this on absolutely anything you wanted. Anyway, I thought I would share that with you. I hope it was of interest, and people were asking to see something on Starlite, and I hope that's it. So thanks again for watching.